And welcome, it's Matt Finnegan here, and you're watching another Soccer Insight betting preview. And we're looking at the Saturday tea time game between Southampton and Fulham. And this promises to be a fascinating fixture. This is an early look at the markets. If you want a more in-depth market analysis, then do check out my full betting preview, the written betting preview that appears at the weekend at betting-insight.com. It's well worth a read. It really marks your card, and this is what these are all about. It's not necessarily where I feel that you should place the bet. Hopefully it's stimulating, just giving you a few options based on your football knowledge. You're going to be equally as knowledgeable about the game as me. I'm a professional trader, have been for the last 12 years, so I've been living and breathing the markets. I'm just hopefully passing on a little bit of wisdom in these previews that say, well, if you fancy X, Y and Z, these are some of your options that you may want to consider. Doing a little bit of the research for you, so that's what this is all about. So let's have a look at the index prices here, and you'll see that Southampton 205 on the index, Fulham 4.1 and the draw 3.7. Southampton have been a revelation this season. I'm not really going to try and pronounce his name. Pochettino, I think is his name. You know, he really has raised the bar for them, and of course raised the expectations. Fulham, I thought, were a little bit fortunate in the game against Palace. Two wonder strikes in the first half. The first one was just out of this world. That set them on the way to their second victory on the bounce. But you know, Southampton going at great guns. Head to head, well, there's only been one game over the last 7 seasons. Southampton a number of years out of the Premier League, of course, and that finished in a draw last season. So let's have a look at the early markets on the exchanges. Now this is very early in the week, and you can sort of see not much match there, just 18,000 match, but this significant thing that you can see, there's a lot of market love here for Southampton, and that's reflected on this season's form. But we're sort of looking at the sort of the profiling of these teams over a number of years. You know, Fulham are a seasoned Premier League team, and you know, would you be backing Southampton at 8 to 13? That is the question that you're going to be asking this season. But traditionally, we know that Fulham don't travel very well, but if you fancy them to continue the winning streak, then you're going to get very, very good value at it. But you've also got on the exchanges at the moment, because Southampton are so short, you've got that value in the draw as well. So you've got two options there with sort of in the market. But also, you know, if you fancy Fulham to get a result, you've got any kind of value there. And that, you know, as we go through the options, if you feel that either team's going to win, well, Southampton are no value against the OP index sort of price, and that really is going to limit your options. Okay, you've got to be sort of creative in ramping up the price, in my opinion, with Southampton. I certainly wouldn't want to be taking 8 to 13, 1.62, 1.63, and bear in mind this is what's on the exchanges, and it's shorter, you know, with the bookmaking firms, and that they're not really offering you anything. They're certainly not leading with a chin, so to speak. A speculative bet, you know, could be Saints to win to 0. They've been very, very good in defence. Okay, and you know, Fulham, they didn't have a lot of goal scoring opportunities or lots of shots on goal against you know, a very weak Palace team. So you know, with that's a speculative bet, and you know, if you can get, you know, 2 to 1 or better on that, then you certainly should you know, consider that. Another option that you will have with Southampton, and I'll cover the winning margins in a second, is Dutching 1 or 2 goals. That's going to bring it pretty much in line with our OP index price. The answer is, the question is, will Southampton win by 3 or more goals? I don't think they will. So if you do fancy them to win, then getting out just over even money, you're getting a fair price. That's going to happen. But like I said, the value sides are going to be swimming with a grain with this match. Okay, and Fulham are excellent value, and you're getting just over the 6 to 4. Okay, that Southampton don't win, that Fulham get a result, and that's not bad on the exchanges. So if you do fancy that 6 to 4, that Fulham come away with a point, is certainly going to be under consideration. But you know, you've got lots of value in this. Draw no bet's going to be value. All the markets where it's positive in Fulham's favour, you're going to get value out of this game. A solid bet could be Fulham to score a goal. and that is a similar sort of price of what Southampton are to win the game. Fulham to score a goal at any time. You know that they've got the players, they've got the quality within the team, likes of Berbatov, okay, Darren Bent. You know, will he play the two strikers? You know, if he does, one to watch on the team news, if he's playing two strikers, Martin Yol, you know, that, you know, at almost 4-6 could be a good bet that they score at any time. We know Southampton's defence has been extremely sort of watertight, but they're going to get breached at some point, and Fulham do have the quality to score there. And finally, Asian handicap, you've got to look for at least 10 to 11, 1.91 Fulham one goal start, okay, so you know, if they lose by one goal, you're going to get your money back there, so that's not too bad either. So you know, 6 to 5 that they come away with at least a point. Laying Southampton, they can lose by one goal, you get your money back. It's going to be, you should be looking at around sort of 10 to 11, 1.91, but there's lots of options, you know, through that, and I'll cover that in more depth with my betting preview. So there's just some of the options that you got if you fancy either team to win. Let's have a quick look at those winning margin options, and you'll see that Saints there 206. Dutchin, these are the best prices at recording this, 1 or 2 goals. You'll notice 1, 2 and 3 is very, very close to you know, the prices that you're seeing on the exchange. Now if you feel that they're going to win easy, then you're going to get 2 to 1, 3.0, but like I say, I think, you know, probably a better option, it's a speculative bet, could be them to win to 0. Fulham, there's no real option here playing in the actual winning margins. You're getting exceptional value for them just to win the game, and if you fancy that, then just take that. You don't need to use the process of elimination. Now looking at the unders and overs, you know, the profile of this game is not suggesting, you know, there's going to be a lot of goals, so but there is good value in the unders markets, you know, just a shade under even money. So you know, if that profile fits you there on the 2.5 goals, then certainly, you know, take that. And if any firm does chalk up 2.0, I certainly recommend that you know, you snap up that price, because you're getting a little bit of value in a game of this profile, okay. So if you fancy the swimming against the grain, I'd let it go into play, see what the game's like, see what the tempo's like, see how either team, you know, Southampton have been pressing quite high at the pitch. You know, Fulham, you know, they tend to sort of get a nice shape and sort of, you know, look to slow the game down somewhat. So, you know, it lends itself to the unders there. Finally, let's have a look at some of the in-play stats that we have for this game. Well, it's sort of reflected in a game that's profiled where there's not a lot of goals. 0-0 at half time, 25 minutes, just a 44.3% chance of a goal before half time. So if it is catered, the chances are it's going to get to 0-0 at half time, and the value is actually going to be in the markets where there's not going to be a goal, okay, so that's where there's going to be a little bit of value there. There's a 75% chance of a goal being scored in that middle bracket at 25 to 70 minutes, at 45 minutes in the middle. Yeah, there's a 75% chance of a goal happening there. That's all games, including games with a goal before 25 minutes. And if that happens, it's a 4 in 5 game, 80% chance that there's going to be more goals in, so that could be the catalyst of goals, and that's normally the sort of case. So, you know, if you do play the in-play market, it's just something to bear in mind with how the match is sort of playing out. That's the sort of percentage of chance. And finally, there's a 55.83% chance of the last goal of the match coming after 65 minutes. You've got to be around about 4 to 5 at that time. That's not going to happen. You know, I recommend that you sort of take the even money is probably going to be available, you know, with the likes of Paddy Power, and last goal after sort of 72 minutes at sort of 2.0. So you might want to sort of take an early punt on that, and you could sort of maybe manage your position, a little bit of an arbing opportunity there. So that's it. That's the Saturday tea time game. Make sure that you check out all our previews on our YouTube channel over the weekend, and of course, if you want to see the full market analysis, then, you know, head over to betting-insight.com and see that, and also check out our Betting Insight Weekly. You may have seen it sort of flash up through this video. Our newsletter, 30 pages this week, packed with not only football, but it's got NFL, it's got golf, it's got rugby league, and a bit of NBA in there, as well as some horse racing. So if you're a sports fan, betting fan, it's totally free, and it will be in your inbox around about 11 each Saturday. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you again in another video preview very soon. Bye for now.